The Man and the Mysterious Jungle. It was a moonless night, and the dense canopy of trees above blocked any light from entering the jungle. Robert held his daughter Lily's small hand tightly as they navigated the unknown terrain. The jungle was vast, cold, and eerily silent. They had wandered far from the campsite during a hike and soon found themselves hopelessly lost. But it wasn't just the fear of being lost that gnawed at Robert, it was the fact that Lily was blind. His 10-year-old daughter depended on him entirely, and now, it was up to him to find a way out of the mysterious jungle. "Dad, I can hear something rustling nearby," Lily whispered, her grip tightening on her father's hand. "Don't be scared, Lily," Robert said, though fear gnawed at his heart. "I'll keep you safe." The thick forest seemed endless, with towering trees, twisted vines, and unseen dangers lurking in the shadows. Strange noises echoed around them, hisses, distant growls, and the occasional flap of unseen wings. It was as if the jungle was alive, breathing, waiting. They had to escape. But how? Robert didn't know the way out, and the further they went, the deeper they seemed to fall into the heart of this strange wilderness. Hours passed, and exhaustion began to weigh heavily on Robert. He carried Lily on his back, feeling the ache in his legs, but he didn't stop. He knew they had to find water and shelter before nightfall. "Dad," Lily whispered suddenly, her voice calm but curious, "I think we're being followed." Robert's heart skipped a beat. He glanced around, seeing only thick foliage and shadows. "It's just the wind, Lily." "Don't worry," he whispered, trying to sound reassuring. But Lily shook her head. "No, Dad. I can feel it. Something is following us quietly." Robert quickened his pace, the overwhelming fear of predators making him push forward. Yet, deep inside, he knew Lily's other senses were sharp, far sharper than his own. He needed to trust her instincts. As darkness fell, the two stumbled across a small clearing. In the dim moonlight that finally broke through the trees, Robert could make out a stream trickling nearby. "We'll rest here for a while, Lily," he whispered. They sat on a rock by the stream, both catching their breath. Suddenly, a low growl came from the bushes behind them. Robert's heart pounded as a pair of glowing eyes emerged from the undergrowth, a large, wild cat, circling them slowly. "Stay behind me, Lily," Robert said, standing between his daughter and the animal. But before Robert could make a move, Lily calmly tugged on his sleeve. "Dad, listen to me," she whispered. "There's a log on your left. Grab it, but don't move too fast." Robert didn't question her. He felt for the log, picked it up, and held it firmly. "Now slowly walk backward with me," Lily instructed. "The animal won't chase if we don't run." Step by step, they moved backward. The wildcat snarled but did not attack. Moments later, it turned away and disappeared into the jungle. Robert knelt down beside Lily, his voice shaking. "How did you know what to do?" Lily smiled. "I listened to its breathing. It wasn't hungry, it was just curious. They continued their journey deeper into the forest. Each step felt more uncertain, but Robert began to realize that his daughter's heightened senses were guiding them better than any map ever could. "Dad, listen carefully," Lily said. "I can hear water, lots of it. There's a river nearby." Sure enough, they soon reached the edge of a wide river. But as they stood on the bank, a strange humming sound filled the air. It was soft at first, then louder, as if coming from all around them. Robert looked around nervously, his mind racing. "Something is here," Lily whispered. "We need to cross the river, now." Without hesitation, Robert waded into the cold water, carrying Lily on his back. As they reached the middle, he felt the current growing stronger, threatening to pull them under. "Hold on, Lily!" Robert shouted. Lily pressed her ear against her father's shoulder. "There's a rope tied to the tree ahead. Swim to your right." Robert fought the current, swimming toward the direction Lily indicated. His hand hit the rough edge of a rope hanging from a low tree branch. Grabbing it tightly, he pulled them both to safety on the opposite bank. Breathless, Robert lay on the ground, amazed at how his daughter had guided them through danger once again. As they caught their breath, Lily spoke softly, "Dad, I think there's more to this jungle than we see." Robert nodded. "It feels strange, doesn't it?" "Yes," Lily whispered. "Like the trees are hiding something." That night, as they rested under the canopy of stars, strange creatures stirred in the darkness. They could hear heavy footsteps, wings flapping, and whispers carried by the wind. Yet, none of the creatures dared come close. Robert stayed awake, holding Lily close, wondering how they would escape this mysterious place. The next morning, Lily tugged on Robert's sleeve. "Dad, I think I know how to leave the jungle." Robert looked at her, confused. "How?" "We've been walking in circles." "There's a pattern," Lily said. "The creatures only move when we stop. If we keep walking without hesitation, they won't follow." It was a risky plan, but Robert trusted Lily. Holding her hand, they began moving through the forest, not stopping for anything. They walked for hours, ignoring the sounds and shadows around them. And just as Lily predicted, the creatures didn't follow. The forest seemed to open before them, leading them down a narrow path. After what felt like an eternity, Robert saw a glimmer of light in the distance. "Lily, I think we're close," he exclaimed. They quickened their pace, their hearts racing with hope. The trees thinned, and soon they emerged from the dense forest, standing at the edge of a vast meadow bathed in sunlight. Robert fell to his knees, overwhelmed with relief. "We made it, Lily." "We're out." Lily smiled softly. "I told you, Dad. We just had to keep going." The biggest lesson. As they sat in the meadow, Robert looked at his daughter with newfound admiration. "Lily, you saved us," he said. "I thought I had to protect you, but it turns out, you protected me." Lily shrugged, a playful smile on her lips. "You just had to trust me, Dad. Sometimes, we need to rely on senses we don't understand." Robert hugged her tightly, realizing the profound truth in her words. The jungle had tested them in every way, but it also taught them the value of trust, courage, and the power of unseen strengths. Robert and Lily found their way back to civilization, forever changed by their journey through the mysterious jungle. Robert learned that strength isn't always about what we see, it's about believing in the unseen, trusting the people we love, and never giving up, even when the path seems unclear. And as for Lily, she knew that while the world might think her blindness was a weakness, it was actually her greatest strength. Together, they had conquered the unknown, and in the end, they realized that the greatest mysteries in life are not just in the world around us, but within ourselves.